Brendan McCarthy is a British artist and designer who has worked for comic books, film and television. Biography. Brendan McCarthy was born in London. As a boy, McCarthy soon began drawing his own homemade comics. After leaving Chelsea Art College in London, where he studied film and fine art painting, McCarthy decided to become a full-time artist. He created the independent comic book Sometimes Stories with art college pal Brett Ewins. His first paid commercial work was a one-page strip Electric Hoax in the British weekly music paper Sounds with another art school escapee, writer Peter Milligan in 1978. McCarthy held a solo exhibition of paintings, drawings and collages at Carbreaker Gallery in London, a squat in Ladbroke Grove's Republic of Frestonia. McCarthy started working for 2000 AD, including Judge Dredd, and at the same time he was working on designs for his first television show, the unmade Dan Dare live-action television series for Lou Grade's ATV in the late 1970s. It was to have been a stylish retro 50s take on the classic Eagle hero with James Fox as Dan Dare, inspired by George Miller's Mad Max 2. McCarthy mulled over a post-apocalyptic surfing story, later written with Peter Milligan and called Freakwave. In 1983, McCarthy collaborated with Peter Milligan and Brett Ewins on Strange Days, an anthology title published by Eclipse Comics. He also drew a two-issue series featuring his alternative media brat superhero Paradox from Strange Days. Returning to the pages of 2000 AD, he again drew Judge Dredd, depicting the Judder and Brit CIT judges. In 1986, McCarthy and Milligan produced Sooner or Later for 2000 AD. Around this time, McCarthy designed and storyboarded the Arabian Cell animated TV series, New Babylon, and also The Storyteller for Jim Henson's company. McCarthy designed the characters in Grant Morrison's Zenith strip, which started in 1987, Doom Patrol, creating Danny the Street, and on Morrison and Mark Millar's Marvel series Skrull Kill Crew. He also produced covers and character designs for Pete Milligan's revamp of Shade, the Changing Man. Over the next few years he worked for the 2000 AD spin-off titles Crisis and Revolver. For Revolver, McCarthy drew Rogue and Gosh, later compiled into a single edition by the Vertigo imprint of DC Comics. For Crisis, he drew Skin. Both books were created with and written by Peter Milligan. Skin proved to be highly controversial, with Crisis refusing to release the story and the printers refusing to print it due to claims of it being morbidly obscene. The story was eventually being released by Kevin Eastman's Tundra Publishing in 1992. McCarthy worked as designer on the films Highlander, the first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, Lost in Space, and The Borrowers. He was also hired by Saturday Night Live producer Lorne Michaels to write and design visual gags to the film Coneheads. McCarthy spent much of the remainder of the 1990s working in film and television, most notably as the production designer of the international hit CGI animated science fiction TV series Reboot and as the character creator for War Planets. He was then asked to co-write and design Mad Max Fury Road with director George Miller after meeting Miller in Hollywood and pitching a storyline which would go on to become the seed of the new story. Also with Miller, McCarthy created, co-wrote and designed a new CGI animated feature called Fur Brigade, which awaits production. In 2004, McCarthy created an illustrated visual autobiography of his original art and design work, titled Swimini Purpose. This was released in 2005 in the UK as a limited artist's edition. In 2006, McCarthy was featured in the final issue of DC Comics Solo. His comic had new takes on characters such as The Flash, Batman, and Johnny Sorrow, and he considers the single issue to be one of his best works. In 2009, Brendan was commissioned by Marvel Comics to create a new take on Doctor Strange. A bizarre mini-series, Spider-Man Fever, appeared in April 2010. Brendan returned to 2000 AD in 2010 on a Judge Dredd story with Al Ewing spoofing the Doctor Who TV series, and with whom he would go on to create a popular new story, The Sorcerer of Zilk, which he has described as a cross between Harry Potter and Aladdin Sane, a glamatronic phantasmagoria. The series debuted in March 2012. It was rapidly reprinted by IDW in a new format, with both issues quickly selling out. The Sorcerer of Zilk comic appeared in many Best of the Year lists. In 2012, McCarthy traveled to Namibia in Africa to visit the set of Mad Max Fury Road, which featured his script and designs. He also finished the design and editorial chores for the Best of Milligan and McCarthy, a brand new collection of his most famous comic works co-created with Peter Milligan. Dark Horse released the edition in September 2013. A new comics project, The Deleted, described as The Matrix Meets the Prisoner, was serialized in Dark Horse Presents in 2014. It was written with screenwriter Darren Grinwood. Mad Max Fury Road was finally released in May 2015 to massive acclaim and a strong box office. Brendan attended the Hollywood premiere. The wave of industry accolades for Mad Max Fury Road was astonishing, with the film sweeping up many Best of the Year awards and going on to win 6 Oscars. McCarthy completed writing and illustrating his new graphic novel, Dream Gang, for Dark Horse Comics, which was released in July 2016, and the comic is already considered a modern psychedelic classic. Bibliography. Interior comic work includes Sometimes Stories No. 1 of 2 produced, script and art, with Brett Ewins, Broglia Press, 1977. Sounds, The Electric Hoax, script and art, with Peter Milligan, Spotlight Publications, 1977. 1978. 2000 AD. Anthology. IPC Media, Fleetway, Rebellion Developments, Thugs Future Shocks, Robot Repairs, with Robert Flynn and Brett Ewins, in number 37 to 38. 1977. Stasis, with Charles Swift and Brett Ewins, in number 54. 1978. The English Flandrusian Phrase Book, with Alan Moore, in number 214. 1981. 60 Hours That Shook the World. Azar Jones, with Peter Milligan, in number 391. 1984. Bad Maxwell, quote, as J. Roberts, with Peter Milligan, in number 402. 1985. Do You Copy, quote, with Peter Milligan, in Sci-Fi Special 85. 1985. Encounter, The Day of the Phoenix, text story by Oniano, with Brett Ewins, in number 56. 1978. Walter the Wobot, with Gary Rice, in number 82. 84 to 85 and Judge Dredd Annual 81. 1978 to 1980. Strontium Dog, in Star-Lord, 2000 AD's short-lived sister title, Kane's Colossal Casino, with Bill Henry, in Summer Special 78. 1978. The Demon Maker, Master of Chaos, quote, with T. B. Grover, in number 17. 1978. The Town That Died of Shame, with Alan Grant and Colin McNeil, in Sci-Fi Special 88. 1988. Judge Dredd, Bring Me the Head of Judge Dredd, quote, with John Howard and Brett Ewins, in number 88. 1978. The Day the Law Died, Part 5, 17 inches, with John Howard and Brett Ewins, in number 93 and 105. 1978 1979. Untitled, with writer uncredited and Brett Ewins, in Annual 79. 1978. New Year is Cancelled, with John Howard, in number 146. 1980. The Wally Squad, Parts 2 to 3, with T.B. Grover and Brett Ewins, in number 391 to 392. 1984. Riders on the Storm, quote, with T.B. Grover and Tony Riot, in number 472 to 473. 1986. Atlantis, with T.B. Grover, in number 485 to 488. 1986. Report to the Chief Judge, with T.B. Grover and Tony Riot, in Judge Dredd Annual 87. 1986. The Witness, with Alan Grant and Steve Whitaker, in number 500 to 501. 1986. Blood Donor, with Alan Grant, in number 519. 1987. Oz, Parts 5, 7 to 8, 14 to 16, with Alan Grant, in number 549. 551 to 552 and 558 to 560. 1987 1988. She Devils, quote, with John Wagner, Alan Grant, Brett Ewins and Tony Riot, in Annual 88. 1987. Full Metal Jacket, Parts 4 to 5, with John Wagner and Steve Parkhouse, in number 581 to 582. 1988. Spock's Mock Chocks, with Alan Grant, Steve Whitaker and Jamie Hewlett, in number 614. 1989. Dr. Watt, quote, with Al Ewing, in hash 1712 to 1713. 2010. Night Zoom, with John Wagner, in Sci-Fi Special 16. 2016. ABC Warriors, with Pat Mills, in number 120 and 127 to 128. 1979. Rojaws Robo Tales, Ye First Robote, with Gary Rice, in number 166. 1980. Sooner or Later, with Peter Milligan and Tony Riot, in number 468 to 486. 488 to 496 and 498 to 499. 1986. Zorsa of Zilk, Script and Art, with Al Ewing, in hash 1775 to 1784. 2012. Vanguard Illustrated number 1 to 3. Freakwave, quote, Script and Art, with Peter Milligan. Pacific Comics. 1983 1984. Scream, number 7. The Punch and Judy Horror Show, with James Nicholas. Anthology. IPC Media. 1984. Strange Days number 1 to 3, with Peter Milligan and Brett Ewins. Anthology. Eclipse. 1984 1985. Paradox. Number 1 to 2, with Peter Milligan. Vortex. 1987. News on Sunday. Summer of Love. 7 episodes, with Peter Milligan. 1987. Crisis. Anthology. Fleetway. New Statesman. Riding the Tiger, with John Smith and Jim Bakey, in number 11. 1989. Arttoons. One-page illustrations, with Tony Riot, in number 15 to 24. 1989. A1V1 number 1. The Hollow Circus. Script and Art. Anthology. Atomeca. 1989. Deadline number 20. Flaming Carrot, with Bob Burden. Anthology. Deadline. 1990. Revolver number 1 to 6. Rogan Gosh. Star of the East, with Peter Milligan. Anthology. Fleetway. 1990. Shade. The Changing Man v2 number 22. A Pale Afternoon, with Peter Milligan. DC Comics. 1992. Skin, with Peter Milligan and Carol Swain. Graphic novel. Tundra Publishing. 1992. Judge Dredd Magazine. Anthology. Fleetway, Rebellion. The Ballad of Toad McFarlane. CEPT It's Not a Ballad. Quote. With John Wagner and Alan Grant. In Volume 3 number 33. 1997. The Walking Dead, with Rob Williams. In number 311. 2011. Solo number 12. Script and Art. Anthology. DC Comics. 2006. Who Won't Wield the Shield? Dr. America, with Matt Fraction and Howard Hallis. Anthology One Shot. Marvel. 2010. Spider-Man. Fever number 1-3. Script and Art. Marvel Knights. 2010. House of Mystery v2 number 27. Long Strange Trip, with Matthew Sturges. Co-feature. Vertigo. 2010. Age of Heroes number 4. Captain America. Man of God, with Elliot Kalan. Anthology. Marvel. 2010. Scalped number 50. The Art of Surviving, with Jason Aaron, among other artists. Vertigo. 2011. Rocketeer Adventures v1 number 4. The Flight of the Aeronaut, with John Darkudi. Anthology. IDW Publishing. 2011. Judge Dredd v1 number 2. The Good Parts, with Dwayne Swiaczynski. Co-feature. IDW Publishing. 2012. Justice League v2 number 23.3. Dial Q for Q'd, with China Mieville, among other artists. DC Comics. 2013. Dark Horse Presents. Anthology. Dark Horse. The Deleted. Script and Art, with Darren Grimwood. In V2 number 32-35. 2014. Dream Gang. Script and Art. In V3 number 1-4. 7-10 and 14-17. 2014-2015. Dr. Fate v4 number 17-18. DC Comics. 2016-2017. Covers only. 2000 AD number 33. 39. 41. 405. 517. 524. 536. 553. 588. 607-608. 622. Annual 89 and 91. 761. Action Special 92. 1571. 1960. 1975. IPC Media, Fleetway, Rebellion Developments. 1977-2016. Judge Dredd's Crime Files number 3. Eagle. 1985. Judge Dredd Mega Special 89. Yearbook 93. Fleetway. 1989-1993. The Best of 2000 AD number 41. 46. 49. 77-78. 101-102. Fleetway. 1989-1994. Mr. X v2 number 1. Vortex. 1989. The Saga of the Man-Elf number 1. Trident. 1989. Shade. The Changing Man v2 number 1-13. 24-29. 31-32. Vertigo. 1990-1993. Judge Dredd. Muzak Killer TPB. Titan. 2002. Dan Dare number 3. Virgin. 2008. Judge Dredd Magazine number 272. 329. Rebellion. 2008-2012. Peter Parker number 4. Marvel. 2010. Jonah Hex v2 number 56. DC Comics. 2010. Zombie v2 number 1. DC Comics. 2011. Catalyst Comics number 3. 6. 9. Dark Horse. 2013-2014. Judge Dredd v1 number 13-16. IDW Publishing. 2013-2014. Dr. Fate v4 number 16. DC Comics. 2016. Awards. 1992. Nominated for Eisner Award for Best Cover Artist for Shade, The Changing Man. 1993. Nominated for Eisner Award for Best Cover Artist for Shade, The Changing Man and Best Graphic Album. New for Skin. Official site. Brendan McCarthy Showreel on YouTube. Brendan McCarthy at the Internet Movie Database. Brendan McCarthy interviewed by 2000 Ad Review. Co. UK. Brendan McCarthy at the Grand Comics Database. Brendan McCarthy at the Comic Book DB.